Hi everyone, this is Monica again. I want to edit one more black and white photo for you today. I know that my last two videos were black and white, but you know, they all kind of go together. So if you have enjoyed the other videos, or if you enjoyed this one, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and turn on the notifications if you like what you see here. So I want to talk a little bit about the reasons I might choose to convert a photo into black and white. And this is one that I've actually not edited before. This is from our recent trip to the beach. I literally just imported the few things that I had on this card this morning, and so I haven't really messed with it. But anyway, the reason that I might choose to put something in black and white is to focus in on the details. And that could be, you know, the light, the shadows, or the detail of hair, or sand in this case, just the texture of something. Sometimes I feel like if you can put it in black and white, it really helps you focus in on whatever that detail is. You're removing everything else in terms of color that could feel distracting or take away from where you're trying to make somebody focus. And so for me, in terms of details, it just kind of brings the focus to where I want it to in an image. I also do it just for whenever a photo, not always, but whenever there's a little bit more of an emotion or a connection in a photo that I really want to highlight, I feel like sometimes putting that in black and white really makes you focus in on that moment. And again, especially if there's something distracting in the color of the photo, you know, if there's something in the background that's red and that's where your eye goes or whatever. And then sometimes I do it just because it looks cool. You know, there's not really like a rhyme or reason to it other than it just looks great in black and white. And that's fun too, and that's totally fine. But this one is about the details of what's going on right here. Our little hands and this sand as the water has kind of gone out. And so you are editing this with me for the first time. This is not one I've done before. So just right off the bat, this horizon line is bothering me, so I'm going to go ahead and handle that. Sometimes it takes me a couple tries for it to really feel straight. That's probably close enough. And then in the other videos, I've started with the Rad Pack from Unraveled. They're black and white one, Rad black and white one, BW1. And that's where I'm going to start on this one. And there's a lot of grain in this preset. Sometimes I really don't want it. Sometimes I'm kind of cool with it. I don't hate grain in this picture. I'm just going to bring it down. Go ahead and enable profile corrections. Get rid of the vignetting on the outside. The Sigma 35mm has like a pretty decent vignetting on my D750, so I hit that button a lot. It's overexposed. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. You can see she's super shadowed now. She's in the shadows. I'm going to go ahead and bring those up a little bit, bring her back. It's pretty much full sun in the middle of the day in Galveston, Texas. Bringing the highlights down a little bit. And clarity. In my other two videos, I talked about clarity a little bit and how I always like to bump it up in black and whites. Usually, I find myself bumping it up more when it is an image where I'm trying to focus in on some sort of detail like this. If it's a connection image, I may not use as much clarity, but usually when it's about details, that's when I find myself really just using a lot of clarity. Sometimes even more than this. However, I feel like 69 is a pretty good spot for clarity in this photo. Water is kind of bugging me a little bit. but not really sure what we're going to do about that. I'm dropping the yellow a little bit because I just remember editing beach photos last year, and there's definitely a lot of yellow in the sand, and that just kind of is taking some of the luminance out of that area where this is happening, and I kind of just like it a little bit better. I probably am going to go ahead and sharpen this a little bit more. Usually happy in the 40 to 50 range on sharpening with most of the presets that I use, but almost always have to change that. And so anyway, that's kind of what I've done here. If we go back and look at the original, this doesn't stand out very much to me in just the straight out of camera image. You put it in black and white, make the changes I've made, and you can see how much more visible what's happening right here is. This may not be the perfect photo to demonstrate what I'm talking about. I still feel a little bit distracted by the waves in the back, but this is still like where my eye goes. And you know, it's still pretty much the exact same thing I would do with basically any detail image that I choose to put into black and white. I don't mind some of the shadowing. I feel like it tells the story of what time of day we were out there. I mean, it was in the middle of the day. It is definitely very bright. But that's what I would do. That's kind of what I do with detail shots that I end up putting in black and white. So if you found this useful, if you learned something new today, if you would just go on down there and hit the thumbs up button, give this thing a like, go ahead and subscribe and turn on your notifications. That would be awesome. Also, if you like my work, head on over to Instagram. I post a lot there. My username on Instagram is Monica_Brown_photos. And if you're interested in my website or blog, you can find me at www.monica-brown.com. Thank you so much.